you, man.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Another one.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, man.
How you been?
I've been great.
Congratulations on the new show. It's a funny show too, man.
I appreciate it. It's just as silly as can be, but people love the misfortune of others, and you know.
It's got to be fun for you that when you know that society is celebrating the misfortune of others, this time they're not really celebrating the misfortune of you.
I know. I'll never forget being asked what it was like for the first time, because I really never thought about it, you know, like, how do I feel about being on the other end of the crazy stunts? And my answer just came to me. It's like an erection lasting more than 4 hours. It feels great, but for me, it's very unnatural.
Right. Now, well, I suppose at some time you probably weren't sure if you were going to have a career beyond Jackass.
That's right. That's right.
And when did you think that maybe this was going to be my moment?
You know, we're in an industry where every job is your last, you know? I started out as a circus clown, and I just somehow keep plugging along and coming up with new stuff to do.
You're sober now for what, almost 5 years?
Almost 5 years, just over 4 years and 9 months. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, it's so funny, like, you know, getting applause for doing something to help yourself is just hilarious to me. And I was saying, you know, somebody was saying, talking about, you know, like, oh, you should be proud of your sobriety. And I heard it said that being proud of an alcoholic for getting sober is like being proud of a cowboy with hemorrhoids for getting off of a horse.
No, the reason that I bring that up is doing those stunts. I remember watching the last Jackass movie when they strapped you into that outhouse.
Sure.
And you were about to go through something that I was like, oh, this looks like hell. Even without the feces, it looks like it's going to be hell. But you had this look in your face of a sober guy who suddenly was very self-aware.
It was a little bit tougher to film that third Jackass movie, being clean and sober, but you know, the motivation has always just been the, you know, at my roots, at the core, I'm an attention whore, you know, and so take away the drugs and alcohol, and I still want the spotlight, and I'm still just a jackass, so it's all good.
Where were you when you found out about Ryan's car accident?
I was in bed. It was 5-something in the morning, and I got a call from someone at TMZ asking me if I could confirm, you know, if I could confirm the death of my friend. I was just waking up, and I didn't know what was going on. It still kind of bothers me that phone call in general just kind of bothers me. But yeah, that's where I was at. I was just asleep.
So it was the tragedy is what it is, and it is that. You know, what did you think of the reaction?
I don't know how much I would. I think that the reaction was one of kind of disbelief, because I think to look at what we've done on Jackass. Kind of created a sort of false impression that we're invincible somehow. You know, we've gotten away with like so much life-threatening, crazy stuff. You just can't imagine us actually not surviving something.
I was thinking about you, and so much of those guys, it just seemed like it's such a great group of friends, and there's lots of parties, and I know even when I stopped drinking, it was one of these things where you're like, you can't really hang around that much because you don't want to go to bars all the time. What's that been like for you, that transition?
You know, anybody who wants to learn how to live clean and sober has to just kind of go into every situation asking themselves, do I have a legitimate reason for being here? And if you don't, then sitting around watching your buddies get drunk in a bar isn't a good idea, you know?
I want to go way back. I got a clip. Let's go back and play this clip here from the 80s.
That's the actual show?
The Snakes were followed by those headliners from hell, The Boys everyone's mother warned them about, Motley Crue.
Wow.
That's a show.
That's the actual show.
Yeah.
Oh, man. When I was a kid, I loved Motley Crue so much. I mean, I had all on my walls. This is when I lived in Toronto. Yeah. And when they came to Maple Leaf Gardens on this tour, I mean, I was just so excited about it. And the day before the show, I saw on the news, like, oh, these jerks, you know, come to our city and get in all this trouble. I forget what it was. But I remember watching it and thinking, the concert's tomorrow, and they're here now. So they're in a hotel. I just know it. And, you know, they're in a hotel. So I went running to my room, and I checked for, because I guessed that they would check into a hotel under the name of their manager.
Doc McGee.
Doc McGee, and that's what it said. I looked in all my little tape sleeves, and it said the same manager on every album. So I said, Doc McGee's the guy. So I went running down to the kitchen, and I opened up the Toronto Yellow Pages to a hotel, and I proceeded to call every single hotel in metropolitan Toronto, starting from the top of the list, and I just asked, can you please put me through to Mr. Doc McGee's room, please? And it was incredible. My mom was just furious because I was tying up the phone. But my dad had never seen me this motivated to really do anything. And so my dad said, honey, I said, Mom, I'm calling Motley Crue. And dad said, honey, you know, let the kid. And I probably spent 3 hours doing it. I finally got through. And this guy answered the phone. And I said, hello, is that Doc McGee? And he said, no, this is his brother, Scott. Who's this? And I said, it's in Motley Crue, no way. And he asked me how did I get the number, and I told him I called every hotel in the Yellow Pages, and he said, dude, that's awesome. He says, how would you like it if I put your name on the list for backstage passes, and I can get you tickets in the 5th row in the center. So there I was, and I got my picture taken with Tommy Lee and Nikki Sixx after the show.
You got it?
I do.
We'll put it on.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, here I am.
Go up, go.
We got it. Okay, and there's Nikki Sixx in here with Tommy Lee. Tommy Lee and I both look like young girls.
Congratulations on everything, top to bottom. Well done.
Thank you, brother.
Steve-O, man.
Really, thank you.